Joe Rogan has seen chaos, scandals, political meltdowns, and celebrity disasters. But nothing rattled him like what just happened on his show. Because when a top body language expert sat across from him and broke down Erika Kirk's recent interviews frame by frame, second by second, Joe's entire expression changed. His eyebrows lifted, his jaw tightened. He leaned back in complete disbelief. And the expert didn't hold back for even a second. They said Erika's micro-expressions weren't normal mistakes. They were signals, and every one of them pointed to something dark hiding beneath her polished public persona. The moment the expert paused the clip, a moment where Erika touched her neck, blinked too long, and forced a smile that didn't match her eyes. Joe whispered, "Wait, what does that mean?" And what the expert said next sent a chill across the entire studio. They claimed Erika wasn't nervous. She was calculating. They said her body language didn't belong to someone overwhelmed by drama. It belonged to someone managing information, someone deciding what to reveal and what to hide. Fans started flooding the livestream chat instantly. Thousands of comments. People clipping the segment before Joe even finished the show. The expert pointed out her rigid shoulders, her inconsistent tone, the way she glanced sideways every time Charlie's name came up, and then dropped the bombshell. This is the behavior of someone carrying a truth they're terrified will surface. Joe didn't even try to hide his reaction. He looked stunned, confused, almost speechless. Because if what the expert is saying is true, then Erika's entire public meltdown, the interviews, the tears, the carefully crafted explanations, weren't signs of innocence. They were warnings. And the question now spiraling across the internet is simple. What truth is Erika so afraid the world is finally starting to notice? Before the body language expert ever stepped into Joe Rogan's studio, before the viral clips started spreading like wildfire across every corner of social media, before people began zooming into Erika Kirk's face looking for the tiniest sign of a lie, there was already tension surrounding her. A tension nobody could fully explain, but everyone felt. Every time Erika appeared on camera lately, something seemed off. Not loud, not obvious, but unsettling, like she was trying too hard to hold herself together. And while her supporters insisted she was just stressed, and her critics swore she was hiding something, nobody imagined a top behavioral analyst would dissect her like this. Nobody imagined Joe Rogan, of all people, would be the one sitting across from an expert as they exposed a pattern nobody had noticed. To understand why this breakdown hit so hard, you have to go back. Back to the weeks leading up to Erika's public unraveling, back when her world was already cracking in ways she desperately tried to mask. Insiders say Erika had been acting strangely long before the scandals erupted. She stopped trusting certain people. She began double-checking conversations. She grew overly cautious with her words. And during private gatherings, she would drift into moments of silence. Not the thoughtful kind, but the heavy, distracted kind. The kind where her eyes weren't on the room. They were on her own thoughts, like she was replaying something she wished she could undo. People close to Charlie noticed it first. They said Erika became hyper-aware of any mention of his name, almost flinching whenever someone brought up his schedule, his meetings, his behavior. Others recall how she stopped laughing naturally. Her smile smoothed into thin, practiced lines that never quite reached her eyes. Even her posture shifted. Once confident and upright, it became rigid, tense, like she was holding a secret inside her chest and didn't want anyone to see it. But none of this was enough to draw national attention. Not until the interviews began. It started with a local outlet asking general questions. Nothing controversial, nothing pointed. But viewers instantly felt something strange. When asked about recent events, Erika paused just a beat too long. When asked if she felt overwhelmed, she laughed. But the laugh cracked. Her hands twisted together under the table. And when the interviewer accidentally mentioned a detail she wasn't expecting, her throat tightened and she glanced downward before answering. Subtle things. tiny things. The kind you only notice if you're paying attention. And then came the viral interview, the one that pulled her into the spotlight. The interviewer asked a simple question. Do you feel there are things the public misunderstand about what's happened lately? Erika smiled, but her smile looked glued on. Her blink rate changed. She inhaled sharply before speaking. And right in that moment, that split second before she responded, something in her expression looked scared. Not nervous, not annoyed. Scared. Clips of that moment hit Twitter instantly, and people began analyzing her like a crime scene. Some said she was cracking under pressure. Others said she was lying. And then a third group said something far more disturbing. She looks like someone who knows she's being watched. This was the energy surrounding her when Joe Rogan decided to bring in a body language expert. Someone with years of experience studying subtle cues, micro-expressions, involuntary reactions, and stress patterns. The kind of expert who sees what ordinary people miss. And from the moment they played Erika's interview clips in the studio, something felt off. Joe leaned forward, puzzled but intrigued. Staring at the screen as the expert paused and rewound specific frames. They pointed out the way Erika pressed her lips together, a gesture of suppression. They noted how she kept touching the side of her neck, a subconscious sign of vulnerability or guilt. They highlighted her shifting eye pattern, not evasive, but calculating. According to the expert, Erika wasn't overwhelmed. She wasn't confused. She wasn't flustered. She was managing herself. They explained how people under emotional stress act instinctively, but people hiding information act strategically. And Erika's behavior matched the second category. Controlled breathing, forced stillness, micro-pauses before every sensitive question. The expert said she looked like someone who rehearsed certain answers but wasn't prepared for unexpected ones. Fans across the internet immediately went back to her old clips. They noticed how Erika always sat with her shoulders slightly raised. Not a natural posture, but one associated with self-protection. They pointed out how her hands would lock together on her lap whenever Charlie's name came up. They slowed down her interviews to catch the 1 second where her jaw clenched before she said, "Everything is fine." But the expert wasn't just analyzing Erika now. They also looked at her older footage. Interviews from years ago, long before her current public meltdown. And they found something shocking. Erika used to be naturally expressive. She used to smile with her whole face. She used to use her hands, relax her shoulders, laugh easily. But the Erika in these new clips? It was like someone else had taken over her body. Her movements were tight, rehearsed, almost robotic. Like she was trying to hide not just emotions but intentions. And this shift didn't happen gradually. It happened abruptly. The expert said something changed in her, something significant enough to alter her entire communication pattern. They hinted she might be carrying guilt, fear, pressure, or a secret bigger than anything the public has guessed so far. Joe Rogan's eyebrows shot up instantly, and he asked the question viewers were already yelling in the chat. What is she hiding? The expert didn't claim to know, but they made one thing painfully clear. Her body language is not aligned with truth. And that's when Joe leaned back, stunned, whispering, "Holy s..." Because suddenly, everything surrounding Erika, the scandals, the tension, the strange interviews, the behavior shifts, didn't look random anymore. They looked connected, almost like someone who wasn't afraid of public opinion, but afraid of something much more personal being exposed. Something she's been keeping inside for years. The real chaos didn't begin when the body language expert paused Erika's clip. It didn't begin when Joe Rogan leaned back in shock, or when the livestream chat exploded with theories, accusations, and panic. The chaos began the moment the expert said one line, a line that instantly changed the direction of the entire conversation. She's not anxious, she's anticipating. That single word, anticipating, hit the internet like a siren. Because anticipation meant preparation. Anticipation meant awareness. Anticipation meant she wasn't reacting to pressure. She was waiting for something. Waiting for a question she expected. Waiting for a confrontation she feared. Waiting for a moment she hoped wouldn't come. And the expert didn't stop there. They zoomed into a frame most viewers never even noticed. The exact second the interviewer said, "There have been rumors about..." Erika's shoulders dropped a millimeter. Not a conscious movement, a reflex, a sign of someone bracing. Someone who already knows exactly which rumor is about to be mentioned. Joe Rogan's eyes widened. "Wait, you're telling me she knew what was coming?" The expert nodded. "Absolutely. This is someone who rehearsed answers to questions she believed would surface. She wasn't thrown off. She was relieved the question wasn't worse." And that line sent the internet spiraling into a new theory. If she was relieved, then what was the question she prayed wouldn't be asked? Before Joe could even go deeper, the expert brought up something even more disturbing. Erika's smile. They froze the clip again, highlighting the moment she smiled after being asked about Charlie. The expert explained that a genuine smile activates two sets of muscles, the mouth and the eyes. But Erika? Her mouth moved. Her eyes did not. "That's a suppression smile," the expert said. "That's a smile someone uses to hide a reaction they don't want people to see." Joe blinked. So what reaction was she hiding? The expert's reply was simple and devastating. Fear. Those 4 letters detonated across the internet instantly. But then, just as fans were processing the shock, the show producers rolled in a second clip. Footage Joe's team had been sent privately from someone claiming to be part of a soundstage staff for one of Erika's recent interviews. And the second that unreleased footage appeared on the screen, Joe's jaw actually dropped. Because in the raw, unedited version of the interview, before the team cut out the awkward moments, Erika was visibly unraveling. Not wildly, not dramatically, but in tiny, frightening ways. She fiddled with her ring nonstop. She kept checking the corner of the room. She paused for long periods before answering simple questions. At one point, she even muttered, "I can't mess this up again," under her breath. In the final broadcast version, all of that was removed. Joe looked stunned. "That wasn't in the aired interview." "No," the expert replied, "because someone wanted her to look consistent, composed, and in control." The internet erupted, because if raw footage had been edited, then someone was managing her image intentionally. Someone didn't want the public to see how shaken she had become. Someone was trying to hide the fact that Erika was filming interviews like a person with something heavy on her conscience. But the twist came from what the expert said next. They zoomed into a freeze frame where Erika tugged at her sleeve. A small gesture, but one with a dark meaning. According to the expert, sleeve pulling happens when someone feels exposed, physically or emotionally, as if they're pulling their clothes tighter to shield themselves from something. Joe asked, "Exposed by what?" The expert didn't hesitate. "By the truth they're afraid will come out." And then they said something that instantly became the most replayed clip of the entire episode. "She's not scared of the interviewer. She's scared of the topic." Joe nodded slowly. "So, what topic is she terrified of?" The expert said nothing. They just lifted a folder from the table, a folder full of analysis notes from Erika's past interviews. They slid a photo forward. The camera zoomed in. And viewers saw something they never noticed before. Every time Erika was asked about Charlie, her hand drifted toward her throat. Every time she was asked about the rumors, she blinked too many times. Every time she was asked about the incident, she looked down and swallowed hard. Not once, not twice, but every single time. And then came the twist nobody saw coming. The expert leaned closer to the mic and said, "Do you want to know when her body language changed the most?" Joe nodded. The audience leaned in, and the expert said the date out loud. May 18th, 2021. The internet went silent. Chat froze. People actually gasped in the live stream, because that was the date linked to the Mystery Woman scandal. That was the date tied to the incident no one ever fully explained. That was the moment Erika's communication style changed permanently, from open and expressive to guarded and controlled. Joe's voice cracked a little. "So you're saying something happened on that date that changed her forever?" "Absolutely," the expert said. "And she's been hiding the emotional fallout ever since." But the twist got even darker. The expert revealed they had analyzed unseen footage from after that date. Footage someone anonymously sent them. In the clip, Erika was caught off guard backstage, thinking cameras weren't rolling. She was pacing, whispering to herself, repeating the same sentence over and over. "It wasn't my fault. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for any of this." The expert looked at Joe, almost somber. "That's guilt. Not stress, not confusion. Guilt." But then, the twist that flipped the entire story upside down. Joe Rogan's producer stepped into the studio mid-recording, something they never do. They handed Joe a phone with a message they had just received. Joe's eyes went wide. He shook his head in disbelief. "Is this real?" he asked the producer. The producer nodded. Joe turned to the camera slowly, his voice quiet, almost rattled. "We just got sent a clip from someone claiming to be inside Erika's circle. And if this is real, then this story is much bigger than body language." He pressed play. A voice spilled through the speakers. A whisper, frantic and scared. "She told me she knew the expert would notice the signals. She said, 'It's too late. He'll see everything.'" The expert froze. Joe stared. The entire audience held their breath, because that was Erika's voice. And she was admitting she knew she was revealing something. But what? And then the whistleblower said the most chilling sentence. She said someone would recognize the truth hidden in her reactions, because they were there the night everything changed. Joe Rogan's face went completely pale, because this meant Erika wasn't afraid of the expert. She wasn't afraid of Joe. She wasn't afraid of interviews. She was afraid of the one person watching, who knew exactly what happened on May 18th, 2021. And that person was silently waiting for Erika to slip. This wasn't an analysis anymore. This was a countdown. The second Joe Rogan replayed that whistleblower clip, Erika whispering, "He'll see everything," the entire studio atmosphere changed. It didn't feel like commentary anymore. It didn't feel like entertainment. It felt like a warning. Joe leaned forward, eyebrows locked, staring at the monitor like he'd just stumbled into something he wasn't supposed to hear. Even the body language experts suddenly tightened their posture, because this wasn't just Erika giving away stress cues. This was Erika acknowledging she expected someone to decode them. And the internet reacted instantly. Within minutes, people began freezing frames of Erika's past interviews, slowing down her expressions, analyzing the tiniest details they originally overlooked. And the patterns they found were terrifying. In multiple clips, stretching across months, Erika did the same peculiar thing at the exact same moment. Every time the topic came close to May 2021. Every time Charlie's name was mentioned in a certain tone. Every time someone brought up the woman. Erika's left pupil dilated sharply. Not both pupils, only the left. The body language expert explained it live. "That's not random. That's an involuntary trauma response." Joe exhaled heavily. "So she's reacting to something specific?" "Something burned into her memory," the expert said. But before they could expand, Joe's producer rushed back into the room with another phone in hand, another message, another leak. Joe shook his head in disbelief. "This is crazy," he muttered. The producer whispered, "You need to see this." Joe looked into the camera. "We're being sent a second audio file from the same whistleblower." Chat exploded. People begged him to play it. He hesitated for a moment. Not because he was scared, but because something about the situation felt bigger than commentary. Like he was holding evidence, not gossip. But Joe hit play anyway. A woman's voice, frantic, breathless, whispering, filled the studio. "She told me she feels like someone is waiting for her to break." She kept saying, "If she speaks, everything comes out." The expert's eyes widened. Joe froze. She? Who is she? Before anyone could process it, the whistleblower continued. "She said the woman from 2021 isn't the one she's afraid of. There's someone else, someone who saw what happened." The expert leaned forward slowly. "Joe, this isn't about one woman anymore." And the whistleblower's final line shook the room. She said, "It's not the woman, it's the witness." The internet went nuclear. A witness? A silent observer from the night of the 2021 incident? Someone Erika thought was gone? Someone watching her interviews, waiting for a tell, a slip, a micro-expression that gave away everything? Joe stared at the expert. "Let me get this straight. Erika's body language isn't just guilt, it's surveillance fear?" The expert nodded. "Yes, she's not scared of exposure. She's scared of someone who knows the truth." And then came the clip that flipped the entire conversation upside down. Joe pulled up slowed-down footage of Erika from an interview she did during the height of the scandal. The expert pointed out something no one on the internet had caught. At one moment, only 0.3 seconds long, Erika looked directly into the camera, her expression dropping completely blank, like her mask slipped. Her mouth tightened, her pupils widened, her left hand gripped her knee. The expert paused the video. "This," they said softly, "is the moment she saw someone." Joe frowned. "Saw someone? How? It's a camera." The expert shook their head. "No, it's recognition. She wasn't looking into the camera. She was looking at someone behind it." The studio fell silent. The expert added, "This is the micro-freeze of someone making eye contact with a person they did not expect to see." The internet froze too, because that meant the witness, whoever they were, wasn't distant. They weren't hiding online. They weren't a rumor. They were physically there during one of Erika's interviews. And that was only the beginning. A leaked email appeared online an hour later, allegedly from a staff member who worked on the same interview. The staffer claimed a woman showed up on set unexpectedly, stood at the far end of the room, and watched Erika quietly the entire time. Nobody knew who she was. Erika kept glancing at her. And after filming, Erika allegedly told the staffer, "Don't let her near me again." The staffer asked who the woman was. Erika said nothing. She only walked out fast. Fans immediately began connecting the dots. Was this the witness? Was this the real threat? Not the mystery woman from 2021, but someone who saw it all? Before the internet could settle on a theory, Joe's team queued up a second leaked clip, this time from backstage footage of another interview Erika filmed weeks later. It was raw, unedited, shaky. Erika was pacing again, but this time she wasn't whispering to herself. She was whispering into her phone. "I can't believe she's back. She wasn't supposed to see anything." Joe paused the video. "See what?" The expert sat stiff. Someone witnessed the incident. And then came the detail that sent the internet into a tailspin. Erika added, "She promised she'd stay quiet. She promised. Why would she show up now?" Joe whispered, "Oh my God." Because this wasn't fear of exposure anymore. This was betrayal. Someone Erika trusted. Someone Erika believed would keep a secret. someone who suddenly changed sides. The expert laid it out clearly. There are 3 women involved now. The mystery woman from 2021, the one Charlie had issues with. The witness, the one Erika didn't know was watching. The one Erika thought would stay silent. Someone else entirely. But the biggest twist hadn't even dropped yet. A new anonymous source, calling themselves the Camera Ghost, posted a message saying they were releasing a still shot taken from the set of that infamous interview Erika filmed. The message read, "You all saw Erika break, but you didn't see who she saw." The still image dropped minutes later. It showed Erika mid-interview, eyes frozen, mouth stiff, expression terrified. And behind the camera reflector, faintly visible in the glass, was the blurred reflection of a woman. Fans enhanced the reflection. They sharpened it. They compared it to archived photos, and the internet lost its collective mind. Because the reflection didn't match the mystery woman from 2021. It didn't match Mickey's wife. It didn't match anyone publicly connected to Erika. It matched someone else entirely. Someone fans had forgotten. Someone who hadn't been mentioned in years. Someone who disappeared after May 2021 for reasons no one ever questioned. And the final blow came when a journalist confirmed it. The witness was not the woman from 2021. The witness was someone Erika trusted more deeply than anyone. And the journalist ended the statement with one line. "And she's not staying silent anymore." The internet collapsed. Because now the question wasn't, what did Erika hide? The real question was, who did Erika betray? And why is that woman coming back now? And just before Joe Rogan wrapped the episode, his producer whispered something in his ear that made Joe's expression collapse. Joe turned to the camera and said, "There's another file coming." The expert asked, "From who?" Joe looked straight ahead. The witness. The public reaction didn't just ignite. It erupted like nothing anyone had seen in weeks. The moment Joe Rogan said, "The witness is sending another file," social media went into a full-blown crisis mode. Comments were flying so fast the chat froze. People were tweeting in all caps. Reddit servers slowed to a crawl, and TikTok creators dropped everything they were doing to make 15-part breakdowns, each one wilder and more detailed than the last. Within minutes, hashtags like "Who is the witness?", Erika exposed, and 2021 truth were trending worldwide. Fans began pulling up every woman who had ever been in Erika's orbit. Friends, staff, distant relatives, old colleagues, former assistants, PR managers, even women who appeared briefly in background footage years ago. The internet went into detective mode with a ferocity no PR team could control. One faction insisted the witness was someone high profile, a woman with influence, someone with a public platform, someone whose silence made the scandal even more terrifying. Another faction argued the witness had to be someone close enough to Erika that she never suspected betrayal. A friend, a confidant, a mentor, someone she trusted to keep secrets. And then the darkest faction began circulating theories that the witness wasn't just someone who saw the 2021 incident, but someone who had evidence saved for the right moment. And that's when celebrities began chiming in. A former reality star posted, "When someone says she wasn't supposed to see that, that's not drama, that's danger." A famous commentator wrote, "I've known body language experts for years. If Erika's reacting like that, something big is underneath." And a major podcast host said during a live stream, "3 women, a witness, and another file? Someone's career is done." But the reactions weren't limited to celebrities. People inside the media industry began leaking their own takes. One anonymous producer from a news network tweeted, "Our team is scrambling. There's more than one person coming forward now," which sent the internet into a tailspin. More than one witness? More than one file? More than one person ready to reveal Erika's secrets? Suddenly, fans noticed something chilling. Erika's old interviews, the ones where she barely held herself together, were disappearing from certain platforms. A 2021 panel discussion vanished from YouTube. A podcast episode featuring Erika and Charlie was quietly deleted. A short interview clip from last year became unavailable due to copyright claims. And every takedown only added gasoline to the fire. People began saying, if nothing happened, why erase everything? Why hide footage that was public for years? Who's cleaning up Erika's trail? Meanwhile, influencers on TikTok and YouTube created entire timelines, connecting dots nobody even realized existed. One creator found a photo from May 2021, the same month the expert mentioned, showing Erika with two other women at a private event. The creator circled one woman's blurred reflection in a glass door and claimed, "This is the witness." The video hit 2.8 million views in under an hour. Another influencer made a viral breakdown pointing out that in old photos, Erika always stood beside two specific women. But after 2021, one of them completely vanished from public appearances. The influencer said, "Friendship breakups don't erase someone's entire existence. Something went down." And then things escalated again. Screenshots surfaced from someone claiming to be part of Erika's digital cleanup team. They alleged they were hired months ago to remove old posts, archive private messages, and scrub references to a certain woman from Erika's online presence. Their message said, "You wouldn't believe how much they told me to delete." The public split instantly. Some believed Erika was hiding something massive. Others believed she was being targeted unfairly. And a third group, the loudest of all, believed the witness was about to expose the truth Erika spent years trying to bury. News networks couldn't keep up. Panel discussions were held in real time. One anchor said, "This isn't gossip anymore. This is a pattern." Another said, "The emotional manipulation, the secrecy, the missing footage. Someone's protecting someone." Even body language experts unrelated to Joe's show chimed in, each analyzing Erika's clips independently. One expert said, "The moment her pupil dilates on cue, that's someone reliving trauma or fear." Another said, "The way her jaw clamps, that's someone preparing for confrontation." Suddenly, dozens of experts were weighing in, all pointing to the same thing. Erika wasn't reacting to pressure. She was reacting to memory. And then, in the most shocking twist of the public reaction, a former colleague of Erika anonymously posted, "The witness isn't a stranger. She was closer to Erika than Charlie ever was." That single sentence sent the internet spiraling into madness. Closer than Charlie? Closer emotionally? Closer physically? Closer in trust? What did that even mean? Creators began hunting for old photos of women who were always next to Erika: assistants, friends, volunteers, staffers. One woman in particular, a soft-spoken assistant Erika had publicly thanked multiple times over the years, became a top theory. But before fans could jump on it, a journalist posted a screenshot claiming the assistant moved overseas in 2021, due to sudden personal reasons. No explanation, no farewell, no public statement. She simply disappeared. And when someone dug deeper, they found the assistant's LinkedIn profile had been inactive since exactly 1 week after the 2021 incident. People screamed in the comments, "That's the witness. She vanished after the incident. It all makes sense now." But then more chaos hit. Another anonymous insider claimed the woman in the reflection wasn't the assistant. It was someone older, someone Erika looked up to, someone who had mentored her, someone who was never supposed to be at that interview. And while the internet fought over theories, celebrities continued weighing in. A famous comedian tweeted, "Body language doesn't lie, but people do." A talk show host posted, "3 women, 1 file, a witness, Erika's done." And a former political strategist wrote, I've read between lines for years. Erika's behavior, it screams cover-up. Meanwhile, Erika stayed silent. No statements, no interviews, no clarifications. Just complete, deafening silence, which only made everything worse. And then, as if the universe wanted to light the internet on fire, a new account appeared online. No profile picture, no bio, no posts. It had only one pinned message. I am the witness, and I'm not done. The internet collapsed, because now, the question wasn't just, what did Erika hide? It was, who is this woman, and what does she have that Erika is terrified of the world seeing? The internet had barely recovered from the shock of seeing the message. I am the witness, and I'm not done. When everything spiraled into absolute chaos. That account wasn't a troll. It wasn't a parody. It wasn't someone trying to clout chase. Within minutes, it posted again, and what it said sent a cold wave through everyone watching. You've all been looking at the wrong woman. People froze. Comments stopped. Screenshots spread like wildfire. Because up until now, the mystery woman from 2021 had taken all the heat. She was the one everyone assumed Erika was afraid of. She was the one tied to the original scandal. She was the shadow that haunted Erika's interviews. But the witness was saying that the woman everyone pointed fingers at wasn't the real danger. The witness dropped a follow-up message. She wasn't the one in the room. I was. And the internet lost its mind. People went back to every theory, every clip, every leaked conversation. Suddenly all the details shifted. The fear in Erika's eyes wasn't about the mystery woman resurfacing. It wasn't about that past confrontation. It wasn't about 2021 rumors. It was about the silent observer. The person Erika never realized was standing in the doorway. The woman who saw everything. The woman who never spoke. Until now. But the witness didn't wait for the internet to catch up. She posted a third message. This one, a voice note. Joe Rogan's team grabbed it instantly. He played it live, and the moment the witness spoke, Joe sat back like he'd been punched in the chest. Her voice was calm, low, steady, like someone who had carried a truth for years and wasn't afraid anymore. I wasn't supposed to be there, but I heard everything. I saw everything. And Erika wasn't the victim that night. The expert's eyes widened. Joe's mouth fell open. The witness continued. She didn't break down. She didn't panic. She took control. She handled it like someone who had done it before. That line alone sent chills through every viewer listening. Handled what? Done what before? What exactly happened in that room? The witness wasn't done. She lied for him in public, but she lied for herself in private. And the file Charlie hid wasn't the dangerous one. People froze. The expert leaned in. There was a second file, the witness said. The one she made sure he never found. Everything stopped. Because up until now, everyone believed the encrypted file, the one Erika begged Charlie to delete, was the most dangerous piece of the puzzle. But according to the witness, that wasn't the real secret. The real bombshell was in the second file. The file Erika created. The file she kept hidden. The file she never let anyone see. And then came the part that flipped the entire narrative upside down. Charlie never knew the truth about 2021. Erika made sure of that. She told him a version of the story that protected her. Not him. Joe whispered, "Holy shit." The expert ran a hand down their face. That means everything Erika did after 2021, every reaction, every interview, every meltdown, wasn't fear of exposure. It was fear of contradiction. The witness posted again, this time with a cryptic sentence that ignited total panic. She thought I was gone, but I kept the proof. Proof. Screenshots, audio, footage, documents, nobody knew. But the witness clearly did. Then Joe's producer slipped him another note mid-recording. Joe read it silently, eyes widening with every second. The producer whispered, "Say it." Joe swallowed hard and looked at the camera. "We've just received confirmation that the witness has reached out to multiple media outlets, and she's offering them the original recording of the incident." The expert inhaled sharply. That recording would destroy Erika. The chat exploded. "Drop the audio. We need part 2. Expose her. 2021 truth now." But the witness wasn't done speaking. She posted one final message. "I hid one thing for 3 years. I can't hide it anymore. Erika knows exactly what it is, and she knows who it involves." Fans froze. Who it involves? Charlie, the mystery woman? Someone else entirely? And then the witness added the line that will haunt Erika forever. "When the second file comes out, the world will finally understand why she's terrified." Joe pressed pause on the live stream. The expert sat in stunned silence. The audience stared at the screen like it was a movie cliffhanger. Because the final message from the witness wasn't a threat. It wasn't a tease. It was a promise. "I'm releasing the second file, not today, but soon." The internet exploded so violently it nearly shut down the platform. And as the screen faded to black, one question consumed every viewer. What did Erika put in that file? And why did she think the witness disappeared before she could expose it? So now the entire internet is holding its breath. Because whatever happened in 2021, whatever Erika tried to bury, whatever she hid inside that second file, it's finally coming back for her. And this time, it's not rumors, not theories, not misinterpreted footage. It's the witness, the one person Erika never expected to reappear, the one person who saw the truth with her own eyes, the one person Erika believed would stay silent forever. But she didn't. She's back. She's speaking. And she's threatening to drop a file Erika hoped no one would ever see. So now it's your turn. Because you've heard every theory, every leak, every whisper, every clue. You've seen the body language breakdowns. The panic in Erika's eyes, the way she freezes when 2021 is mentioned, the way her entire energy shifts when Charlie's name comes up. You know the patterns. You've watched the clips. You know something is off. So tell me in the comments right now. Do you think the witness is telling the truth? Is Erika hiding something darker than anyone imagined? Do you think Charlie knew, or was he manipulated too? Who do you think is in that second file? And what secret did Erika try to protect so desperately she changed her entire behavior for years? Drop your theories, even the wild ones, because the next chapter is going to require every perspective. And trust me, when the witness releases that file, the internet is going to explode again. And if you want part 2, the unfiltered audio, the breakdown of the second file, the truth about the witness's identity, and the full story of what Erika did in 2021, you need to hit like, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the moment this story breaks wide open. Because the next update, it's going to change everything.